Hey, B-Siders. Welcome to another episode of Bravo for the B-Side. This is Jim.
This is Danny.
And we have a fun movie
Is it a fun
coming.
movie?
Well, it is,
Okay.
because as previously discussed,
Mm-hmm.
I have had a hunger for some just like raw indie or B movie, you know.
Some home cooked goodness.
Yeah, not high budget, polished stuff. Just the I'm going to make this movie kind of thing.
Did this scratch your itch?
Oh, it scratched it raw. um,
Now we're like, okay, back to high budget.
well, no, because we picked up. I mean, the one that we started watching last night turned out to be
Sometimes you
not
start
for
watching a
us.
movie and you're like, I don't want to watch this or cover it.
Well, it was one that the trailer was. It looked like this could be funny,
Yeah, it looked
just a
goofy.
silly little, horror comedy kind of thing, and it really turned into,
The
no.
first 2 minutes of the movie was 99% jiggling boobies. For no real reason.
Well, so that the guys could look at them and they could make those weird sounds. Not
Yeah.
well, not the guys, but the weird sound effects,
Yeah.
like a squeegee on. Yeah,
Yeah.
I, I don't know. Makes me think. Clearly, somebody who has never actually seen breasts move.
Well,
I I would not be a fan if that's what it sounded like. It's it's like two notches below the nails in the chalkboard thing.
hmm
So anyway, um, yeah. So we're gonna get to that. Let's see what's going on.
well, uh, by the time this comes out, it will be old news. But since we last recorded, we have lost Michelle Trachtenberg and
Yes,
Gene Hackman
yes,
and his wife.
and the dog.
hmm
So haven't really looked at a lot of stuff because there hasn't been like a legitimate, to me, legitimate news source reporting facts.
Right.
There's like all these speculations and rumors. I don't have time for that,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah.
But Michelle Trachtenberg, when I was a kid and teenager and stuff, she was living my perfect kid and teenager dreams. Uh, we're of similar ages.
Right.
And she was Harriet the Spy, and then she was, in Buffy, and then, um, yeah, she just was basically living the full, like, you know,
Yes.
kids' fun adventure life
We.
through film.
I mean, the movies were what they were,
hmm
and her character on Buffy was could have probably been written better.
Everyone had pretty strong feelings about Dawn.
Yeah. It's kind of like a utility player. It's
Sure.
like they didn't really know what to do with her until they decided to make her like a real problem.
Yeah.
Could have been a better problem. Not everything's a home run. Buffy is fucking fantastic. Make no mistake. I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But not all the story points are a win. And just like not every episode is, spectacular. That's just the way it is with every series.
I mean, it went on for too long, the
I
series,
well, it did, you know.
like some shows do.
Yeah. Angel 4 seasons. We
5.
learned 5?
hmm
5. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't typically watch the fourth season because it's all the Connor and that like goddess lady, and it was
Oh, that's
garbage.
right.
Yeah,
That's maybe where I miscounted. Skipped ahead.
I skip
But
that season every time I watch the show.
funny thing, you skip the 4th season, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't actually.
You don't miss it. Well, it's like Battlestar Galactica. I watch seasons 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm done. And I only actually watch half of 3 because I'm just like, nope, I'm not going into the whole. It was just so fucked up. Ron Moore just like gave it up.
Yeah, and we
You
just
know.
skipped season 2 of Walking Dead in our like rewatch.
Yeah, we just started rewatching it. We skipped the whole season too. I mean, there's some poignant moments. A
Yeah,
couple, a couple. You know, um, but
It's not enough.
no, no. Anyway, um, we also lost, and I had his name in my head, but Dexter Poindexter, or not Dexter, shit, Buster Poindexter. Um, he's not famous for a whole lot. He had the music video. It was a character he played, Buster
Okay.
Poindexter.
Yeah.
Um, he was all over the place. He had a music video because he had a song, and he showed up on like on SNL, a bunch of talk shows and stuff. Had his own tours and that. Um, but we lost him. It's kind of a. I mean, here we go again. Michelle Trachtenberg is a little more tragic.
Yeah.
She was super young.
She was very young.
Dolly Parton's husband passed away as well.
Yes.
When you're in your 90s, I mean, it's not unexpected. It's still sad. We still want all these people hanging around. But on that note, let's talk about Oscars for a second.
Sure.
So, we never watched the Oscars.
No.
It lost interest for me decades ago. I just, it can be just such a shit show and such a disappointment. It's so politically motivated and insidery and, all that good stuff.
It's never really about actually good performances in the films of the year. It's all, it's very political and it's very pageantry-ish.
Yeah. Well, I always bring up Al Pacino definitely deserved an Oscar.
Oh, for sure.
Right? He did not deserve an Oscar for Scent of a Woman. I think that's one of his worst films because the film, it sucked. I hated it so much. It's one of those things. Everyone's going on about it. It's in the theaters. I go to see it and I'm like, what in the fuck? Just like Manchester by the Sea.
Ugh.
Jesus Christ. Whatever. I mean, I know everyone has their own tastes, but I can pick out a dozen other movies from that year where the actors just, I mean, holy shit, redefined the art. But anyway, what I read on the whole thing with the Oscars is they did the in memoriam thing.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people are pissed off, and rightly so. Number one on the list, Tony Todd. They left him out.
Yeah.
This is not a man who just did the Candyman movies, right? He was all over. He was a B movie king, right? He's up there with big old Bruce.
Oh, sure.
Right? And, why would you leave him out? Shannon Doherty.
Mm-hmm.
Now, politically, she was not well liked. She's very outspoken, like her whole life.
Oh, for sure.
And she was out of the picture for a very long time because she was battling cancer.
Yeah.
Right? But I tell you what, you want to use the words tough bitch? That was Shannon right into the end. She never fucking backed down an inch. And others. It's bad enough losing people in the entertainment industry, people that we grew up with, people who have produced these characters and given us this entertainment and
told all these stories.
Yeah, it's to get nitpicky. If you're going to have an in memoriam, cover it, because actors are a gigantic fucking family and it's everybody.
Yes.
And I know they don't pay attention to the indie folks. Bruce Campbell, he ventured into solid B movies. Bubba Hotep was high production value.
Yes.
And big budget. But did a lot of indie stuff and a lot of asylum level stuff.
He did, but he also did television shows.
And... Briscoe County Jr. and I'm not going to count Ash versus Evil Dead because that was kind of a
Burn Notice.
Burn Notice. Oh, Burn Notice. Oh, we need to get that.
Oh, you want to buy Burn Notice?
I really do, because I have thought of it a couple times.
It's an enjoyable show to watch.
And yeah, it's one of the few shows that we just had a lot of fun watching.
Oh yeah.
Um, but anyway, if you're gonna have this kind of thing, you can be like, oh, we're gonna say goodbye to the people we lost, then say goodbye to all the people we lost.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like 500 actors passed in 2024, and it's like, oh, well, we don't have 7 hours to list them into a slideshow.
Right.
Okay, I get it to a point, but I think that was bad taste, and it just really, I didn't think the Oscars could get moved lower on my rating because
Mm-hmm.
bottom is bottom, but they found a new bottom. We found a sub basement,
Yeah.
and yeah, just wanted to bitch about that for a little bit because a lot of other stuff went on. I really don't care. I don't know a lot of details, and I'm not going to. Another little bit of news. Do you want to share this piece?
Yeah. Talking Pondo podcast has reached back out to us, our buddies Cliff and Marty from
Yeah.
Pondo Enterprises, to be back on for season 3.
Yes.
So that's pretty exciting.
Very excited.
We'll be recording in, I think, April or May,
Yes.
probably. And then I don't know what movies we're going to cover. So,
Well, they had one on their list that they
Mhm.
were leaning towards, and we'll go ahead and do it.
yeah.
We got to think of a couple for them to choose from.
I have a couple ideas.
Okay, I might have some too. Depends. Depends. Sometimes I put stuff out because it's like I hope you pick this because I want you to do the homework. you know,
Get that.
and they're like us. There's not a lot of movies that haven't been seen.
Mhm.
Between the four of us, and I kind of, especially Marty, I really want to like land something that it'd be his first sit.
Right. It's tough.
Yeah, and especially from something way back
Sure.
because we're all about the 70s and 80s and up to mid 90s films. It was a whole thing that that's like anyone who has like a favorite movies list, 70% of that stuff's going to come from those periods.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like a renaissance.
Yeah.
In filmmaking. Not all great. There's like 80s defined movies for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them broke that mold, stuck out, but 80s also gave us Bruce Campbell.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that? So very excited to do that, and when we get the info, we'll share it. And on that note, go listen to some Making Pondo, Talking Pondo episodes, folks.
Yeah.
We've been kind of jamming them out off and on during the workday, and just especially when it's just Cliff and Marty.
Yeah.
I I just love their back and forth.
Yeah,
and
they have a fun dynamic.
It is, and it's so casual.
Mm-hmm.
It's not stuffy or anything. It's really good. So,
well, speaking of places you should go and look at stuff,
yeah,
check out our website, lordsofmisrulproductions.com.
everything's on there. Patreon links, social media links, YouTube links, other links, pages. There's stuff on our pages.
Yeah.
Not a lot of pages because we don't need a lot of pages. But anyway, they're there. Do the stuff.
Yeah.
Become a patron. Go and listen to the podcast episodes in the back. Go watch the videos and like, subscribe, share, do all that stuff. Leave comments where you can.
Yeah.
Like the audio video version of the podcast on the YouTube channel, I have comments turned off because it's just like a dumping ground.
Right.
And I don't really want to have to weed through all that shit. But BF McGillicuddy has comments on. So
there you go.
Watch some stuff. Still trying to bring him back. He's still stuck in orbit somewhere.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So yeah, do the stuff and let's get, things rolling. Now, we're here to talk about a movie.
We are here to talk about a movie.
Would you like to tell us about the movie we're going to talk about?
What a convoluted sentence. This movie is called Death Riders.
Yes.
In normal English, that's Death Riders. It was done in 1994, directed by Gregory Vernon Jeffrey, written by Gregory Poirier.
I don't know if it's Poirier or Poirier.
Okay.
It's hard to say where they landed on that for the family name.
Sorry, Gregory. Also written by Jason Williams, starring Jason Williams, Robert Brando,
Yeah.
Susan Brinkley, Barn Williams Subkowski. Rated R. We could not find a budget for this, so
I did a fast. You saw me. I was doing a
Yeah.
fast deep dive. It's hard to get anything on this. I did get that in some places, it is not called Death Riders. It was renamed The Bandits, which
I think Death Riders is better.
loses all gravitas with that name.
It does, yeah.
You know, The Bandits sounds like Time Bandits, which is a whole different universe of film.
It's a totally different film.
Yeah.
Well, here's the log line.
Bring it.
Reaper leads his gang of bikers on a treasure hunt through the desert with hot pursuit by an undercover cop.
Yep.
I might have wordsmithed that a little bit if it were me.
I mean, perhaps, but here's the thing. I feel like they did the best they could with what they were given. Because I thought in my head, how would I wordsmith it? And as you'll find out, folks, I would have a hard time really getting to the nitty gritty of this film. And we watched it twice.
For me, the log line would be all about the what is his name? The Rainmaker?
Rainmaker. Yeah.
Yeah. I would just write it all about Rainmaker. Come what may.
It would have been fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It would have made no difference.
Okay. Let me just preface by, as we're going through this, the the film quality is pretty low.
I also want to point out something.
Please.
We watched this on what, Tubi? I believe. Maybe it was Prime. Either way, when it came up, it said it was rated TV 14. And I wrote in my notes, I definitely don't think that that's a correct rating based on the number of titties in the trailer for this film.
Right? We'll talk about that trailer at the end, though.
Yeah.
Let's save that because that's a special thing. Anyway, so yeah, it's rough. It scratched my itch on just finding they just did everything that they could
to make a movie.
Yeah. And there's just a lot of things we'll talk about. So anyway, it's looks actually like a 70s film in terms of the roughness of the film. It's kind of like grainy, almost blurry, warbly in some spots, even though it wasn't shot on like a VHS camcorder. So I have no idea what was going on.
I mean, if you think about the year 1994 and what you were doing making independent films, is you got, old secondhand equipment and.
I mean, sure.
Right.
Let's just say it's not a Super 8 film. So they at least launched past that hurdle.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Should we get into this bad boy?
Talk to me.
All right. So when this thing comes up, we start with some motorcycle sounds and then kick into a strange montage bit, switching between bikers riding down the road and scantily clad women sort of dancing. I'm sure they thought they were dancing, but it was not. And the music is something else.
It's this repeating riff.
It doesn't fit at all.
No.
Not even in like an ironic sense.
Not at all. I mean? Not even a little.
So then we see some blonde dude. He's alone, sticking some kind of device into the front of his engine on his bike.
Like a little black box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. And then we cut back to the montage. And it ends with bikers pulling into a parking lot. going in to get something to eat. The leader announces he needs to make a phone call. And of course, straight away when they enter, they start their shit, knocking stuff over, just, all kinds of things, insulting people. And then we see the blonde dude is sitting at the bar by himself. And then the biker leader wants a newspaper.
Right.
And this is, we get back to the usual bits of the bikers taunting the customers and, making people uncomfortable, just being pigs,
Mm-hmm.
right? So then biker leader gets mad after looking at the paper and he goes to make a call. Now, I thought he came in to make a fucking phone call,
Right.
but he was pretty cash about it. But now he's pissed and going to make a phone call. Was it the same phone call he intended to make? We'll never know.
Possibly. Who
Okay.
knows?
This is before cell phones, so it's not like he was calling someone out on the road.
No.
And then we find out he's calling his stockbroker. We learned the biker leader's name is Reaper, and apparently his stocks went down heavily. So he threatens if his broker doesn't fix it, he and his friends will visit his wife. So,
yeah, he basically outright says, we're going to rape your wife.
Yeah. I guess he doesn't understand what a stockbroker does. They can't fix anything.
I know.
They can buy and sell what you want them to buy and sell. Stock market crashes. It's not like one of them's like, yeah, I could fix this, but fuck it.
To hell with you.
Yeah.
I don't want to make any money.
So then some guys in suits come in for the blonde guy, who we learn is Wade Olson. And then there's a really unconvincing fight that ensues. And then before you know it, the cops are down. And then they all go outside. And Reaper asks Wade where he's riding to. And we get what you would expect, the classic answer. Just like you, straight to hell.
Yeah.
Delivered with all the intensity and moxie of Sleeping Possum.
But apparently that is the correct answer.
Yes, it is. So Reaper asks him to come along with them. And then the music is back.
Yep.
And that's all you can say about that. So the gang is riding in the desert. They pull up to some like deserted town. And by that, I mean, it's a couple of old tattered buildings that are clearly facades.
Right. Like it's an old fake Western set.
Yeah, because there's a couple camera shots where you're like, there's no butt to that building.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Reaper talks to Wade, finds out that Wade has no money. And he says, well, maybe you can make some. And then someone asks Wade what's wrong with his bike. And I just put, huh? Because there was nothing at all involving his bike. He says ever since he got it back from the pigs, it hasn't been right.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a quote.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't guess this. So the next morning, Reaper tells Wade he's riding with them for some business. Then we see a pickup full of large stuffed dogs pulling into some weird ass camp.
Yeah, not suspicious at all.
No. And this camp, so it's a hodgepodge. There's a couple of the old
like
buildings,
construction trailers.
and then there's some construction trailers, and it looks like there's a mobile home.
Yeah.
And then there's some cars, and then a couple bikes. It was just weird. So anyway, inside the dogs, of course, is cocaine, because we see them cutting and pulling it out. And then the gang, everyone, is sitting in a room while some dude is cutting it. I guess that was Reaper.
No, it's Crazy Eyes.
Crazy Eyes, yeah. And then Wade asks what he cuts it with, and Crazy Eyes answers, whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And goes into this real short monologue on they'll take it with anything. Fuck them is the whole thing. And right now, or no, it's night, and the gang is riding in the desert. And then they're pulling up to the weird camp
Yes.
because we never saw them come in. We just saw the pickup truck with the dogs, cut the cocaine out, and then they're all in there and the whole thing. There was this whole long shot of them approaching at night.
Well, I think it was other bikers approaching at night, like coming to the drug business.
There was another shot of them coming,
Oh,
but this was, anyway. So I was a little thrown off there. So then Reaper is handing out coke to everybody for distribution. Or Sacramento 4 pounds, L.A. 8 pounds. That kind.
right.
What? Okay. The next morning, everyone leaves with Reaper yelling after them, "Remember, no mistakes." There was no discussion about this, so
No, I don't
take
know
it.
what.
Says he'll see them in Vegas. And then later, he's handing out more stuff for distribution to his guys. Then they're all off. There's some shots of their lovely, barren little pseudo town. And then suddenly, there are some young women wandering into the place. Cut to them drinking. The table where they're sitting inside is full of Budweiser cans. And then Reaper and crew pull up. I just put, this can't go well. I was right.
That's right.
They hear some very 80s level music. So they go in, make them turn off the music, and then they just glare. One of the women tries to explain that their car broke down. Cue the "you belong to us now" bit.
Yeah, Reaper immediately becomes like cartoonishly villainous.
Yeah. Reaper decides to play a little game. The game is they put some rattlesnakes in a small pit and they're going to make the girls walk through them.
Well, so he starts this out by calling one of the bikers Reptile.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't even think they're rattlesnakes. They look like pythons.
Well, they're supposed to be rattlesnakes.
Well, if you know snakes.
Well, but they count on that you don't.
Yeah. So, and then Reaper starts talking about how snakes are programmed by God. There are a lot of continuity errors in that scene.
Yeah.
So many.
Very many.
So many. I don't even get into them. I literally just wrote there are several continuity errors in this scene. One of the girls tries to run away and a biker runs her down with his bike.
Well, let's back that up.
Okay.
Let's be accurate here. He didn't run her down with the bike. He was coasting towards her
and tapped her.
Literally, like, bumped her.
Uh-huh.
And then down she went.
Right. And they're all like, "Oh, she's dead." And I'm like, wow, okay.
It must be, I don't know, like a rotten grape. Ooh,
yeah.
That was it.
So then the touristy women, I call them the tourists.
Sure.
They're discussing possible escape plans. And they're talking about how this gang is Hell's Angels. They don't look like Hell's Angels.
I will say this plainly. They were not. They looked nothing like them. Instead of waiting until the end, I'll just cut this piece in here quick. I was trying to decide, is it because they knew nothing about the actual Hells Angels? Or did not want to co-opt everything and risk insulting
right
them, which, but they already said we're Hells Angels, pretty much. And after that,
sure.
Yeah, we're missing vests, we're missing patches.
I know.
We're missing a whole lot of stuff.
And then some guy, Jake the Prospector, just comes out of nowhere.
Right? Well, because there's no back to the building. He must have just walked in.
Yeah, he just walks right in and joins these tourist girls who, by the way, were just talking about how to escape. Apparently, it's not that hard because Jake just walked right in.
I'm saying.
uh, and they're initially confused, but he says he's not with the bikers. And then they're like, oh, well, okay. Outside, Reaper has all these great little mini monologues that he does that are so dumb. This one, he talks about how he once spent 3 months in solitary confinement, never got bored, just looked inside. There's a lot to see.
The darkness showed him himself. Yeah. Top-notch philosophy.
Yeah. And then Reaper tells this blonde girl who's been his girlfriend the whole time that he doesn't care about her. That's it. I mean, there's really nothing building up to that. He's just like, I don't really care about you. One of the bikers pulls that black box from Wade's motorcycle. And apparently it's a tracker. And then Wade's been outed, apparently, as an undercover cop. Even though he could have easily said, I had no idea that was on there. I told you guys.
Well, that's why it must not be right.
Right.
But we abandoned that because we don't know where it came from.
So he gets up to fight one of the bikers whose name is Munch. And he's like a big dude. I initially thought his name was Lunch, but apparently it's Munch.
No, that's Lunch the Hippo and Munch from Robin Hood.
Yeah. Much from Robin.
Sorry. Yeah, Much.
Munch has a hatchet, and there's a very poorly executed sort of scuffle. And then Wade makes a getaway.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Jake the prospector is talking with the girls, and they hear the bikers come back. But from where? If they were gone, why didn't the girls leave?
Right.
But it's not the bikers, it's Wade who tells them he's a police officer undercover.
Don't forget, the prospector armed them.
Yes, he did. He brought them guns.
Instead of taking them out.
Uh-huh.
Like wherever he's been fucking hiding, that these bikers have never found him.
Right.
Right? He just lets them sit there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many times he must have come in and out, but nobody got the fucking idea of, why don't we just go where he went?
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah. Then the bikers pull up again, and there's this very slow, confusing shootout that also has a lot of continuity errors. Complete with terrible, terrible music.
Yeah. It was mid-90s, right? I don't know where. It might have been some sort of stock thing, but it
sounds very stocky, but even for mid-90s, this is not good music.
No, it sounded actually more 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say techno, just synth.
Yeah. It's possible they filmed this in the 80s and couldn't get it finished until 94. I mean, that
impossible.
Happens. I don't know much about the, making of this film because there isn't anything about it out there.
No.
So then Reaper tells his girlfriend, who I just call Blondie, to get his bike ready and take all the other keys out of the bikes and get all the money. So he wants to abandon everybody in this weird shootout between tourist women, one prospector, and Wade. Right after he told her that he doesn't like her. So, of course, she just takes his bike and leaves.
Yeah, she bolts.
Who wouldn't? And then during the shootout, the girl who was hit by the bike, who came back.
They said she was, because earlier they said she was dead. They should just kill the others and bury them all.
Right.
But, yeah, she comes out, guns blaring.
Yeah. And she shoots Munch, which is sad because I did like Munch. Somehow. And then Reaper ends up stuck in the shootout because Blondie left. And when he runs out of bullets, he just stands up like he's done with playtime.
Yeah.
Like, you're in a shootout. There's bullets flying everywhere.
Yes.
And you just stand up like, okay, we're done now.
Time.
At the end. No. So Wade's got him, and then we see Reaper in an orange jumpsuit in a police car.
Well, it's a cut. It's a hard cut.
Mm-hmm.
And he's kind of gray.
Right. But other than that, which are very not super clear indicators,
No.
there isn't really any indication of how much time has passed.
Right.
But one of the officers is wildly in the back of the cop car with him.
Yeah.
Why? I don't know.
Why not?
I don't think that was standard procedure anytime.
No.
And they're just like giving him shit and making like blowjob prison comments and stuff. And then, in what is a very obvious trap, a guy in a construction vest tells the cops the road is closed and he needs to redirect them. And the dialogue, I cannot stress enough, is bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Very.
They see a crashed motorcycle and guy on the road, and then the driving cop says he's going to go check it out. So it was clearly a trap.
Yeah. It was not a surprise.
It was not a surprise. Any idiot could have seen this trap coming. So Reaper gets out and then shoots the second cop who was in the back with him. And then he is just full of what the writers must have thought were super witty lines.
Anyway.
Did you have a note?
Yeah, it's fine. Keep going.
Okay. And then Wade is suddenly at the escape scene.
Yeah. Well, there's a cop there,
Mm-hmm.
all by his lonesome.
Yes.
Um,
Investigating the dead cop bodies on the road.
he was just standing there. I mean, I suppose he was at one point investigating.
Right?
He does say he's waiting for the investigators to come.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay.
And he's telling Wade he can't be there, and Wade literally just ignores him completely.
Mhm.
Does not say a single word to him until he tastes the blood on the road from where the biker guy was on the road.
Yeah.
And he's like, the blood is fake.
Theatrical.
He also has some pretty dumb lines. For example, telling this cop, I got a date with the devil, without actually giving his fellow police officer anything understandable or useful.
Right.
So, hopeful.
I think it's safe to say we're not going to have any spoilers to what's coming by saying the dialogue is minimalist and not on purpose.
No.
There's some words, some of them you kind of know where they came from and you kind of know what they're attached to, but then there's a lot of words. They're just ephemera.
Here's what I think happened. The writers made a word cloud of their favorite like action films and lines from them. And then they stole all of them and they were like, let's make these just different enough. Or let's just use them shamelessly.
Sure.
So then we're back to Reaper, who's back in the game, but with a fancy hat now. To cover his gray hair, maybe? I don't know. It is a cool hat.
Well, it's a whole outfit. He's all black.
Yeah.
And he's got a poncho.
Mm-hmm.
Poncho.
And it's like a mini top hat, his hat.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. There's lots more writing and bad music.
Do you know who he reminds me of?
Who?
Spirit Rider leader.
Oh, on Defiance?
In Defiance.
Yeah.
With the hat.
I get it.
And
I see
he
that.
has the furry thing though.
Right.
But it could very poncho-y
Mm-hmm.
kind of. But that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's not their inspiration because that didn't exist, but
no.
Spirit Rider did it. Reaper did not.
Yeah.
Didn't sell it.
And then we're at a tattoo place. And Wade grabs the guy from the tattoo place.
Oh, wait, quick back up.
Yeah.
So as they're riding, seemingly, literally out of the desert, people are falling in behind him. Like there's lone bikers who've just been sitting on a fucking rock waiting for the sound to come by.
I know.
It's like his gang's split, and you know they wouldn't show back up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who the fuck are these guys coming?
I know.
They're like the prospector. They've just been hiding in a fucking under
right.
a rock for I don't know how long.
They've just been waiting behind a boulder for Reaper to come back.
Yeah, it was almost to me. It was a whole Messiah thing.
Yeah.
Right, like they're just falling in behind him.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I just because there'd be more than just him coming up.
So, so yeah, Wade grabs this tattoo guy who just drones on for fucking ever about nothing, and then asks him where Reaper is, and then the tattoo guy just breaks with almost no prompting and goes, "He's in the desert somewhere." Helpful, but apparently that's enough for Wade. And then we have Reaper talking to his gang, and not all of them are with him. In fact, Munch, who I thought died earlier in the film, just mere moments ago, is standing up to Reaper, who then stabs him with a tiny pocket knife that he was shaving with. We're talking like a 2-inch blade.
Yeah.
And he says that they're going to head to the Hopi Mountains. And then we're with Wade in this like pawn shop. And the seller is giving him shoes with little blades in them and a gun that can fire backwards if the safety is on or off.
This guy I wrote is apparently the equivalent of Bond's Q.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. He also gives him like a watch bomb thing. And I wrote, this feels like a white trash James Bond.
Yes. I love it. Well, he gives them those explosive pucks.
Right.
They look like urinal pucks.
Yeah.
And the watch detonates them. Okay, so it's nighttime now. Reaper's crew are reminiscing on how being a biker is no life anymore. Not a lot of comparison, but anyway. So Reaper is talking about a biker city where he's the king, and somewhere outside of America, I guess. I presumed because this isn't going to happen here. If being a biker here is no good, trying to build a city of bikers and be the king, so I don't know. Cross the border somewhere, cross the ocean. Again, we'll never know. And a city built on gold.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, sure. So, it did it with me. We're now at a titty bar, but it spell checked me and put a witty bar. And yours it changed to kitty.
Kitty, yeah, kitties.
So we're at a titty bar. But then, no, actually, it's just a bar, but it's just the biker women are topless and dancing on the pool tables.
Oh, is that what it is? I thought it was a strip club.
Well, there's some issues with cut shots here. But anyway, Wade is there and says he's looking for Reaper. The gang in the bar are Reaper's old crew, and then a fight ensues. Some really bad karate.
Yeah, Wade starts the fight.
Yeah. Well, the only one that he didn't start in this whole film is what was clearly the setup to introduce him to Reaper by having two guys come in to try to pretend to arrest him, and then he beats them up.
Right. I'm
So
just
he could
saying
be a
it's not very
badass.
cop-like behavior.
No. There isn't anything in this movie that's in anything kind of behavior.
No.
It's a tough sell. So after the really bad karate, he ends up beating up those three guys and tells the others to tell Reaper he's on his way. And did they not just go on about how Reaper fucked them?
Well, there were a couple of things wrong with that line, because I have that line in my notes too. Tell Reaper I'm on my way. But no other information. They don't know who he is.
Right.
They have established that they don't like Reaper.
Well, it's the old gang that he rode with.
Right.
Yeah.
And they don't like him anymore.
No, Wade
Yeah.
rode with them.
Right.
Yeah, so they know who he is.
Oh, okay.
But it they didn't bother him until I'm looking for Reaper. And then they got all pissy.
Yeah.
Like, well, if he just fucked you, rat him out.
Right?
Anyway.
Did you lose your place?
I kind of did. I'm,
I,
I'm sorry. You know what? I'm not even going to cut that out. I'm going to leave it as silence. My brain is going so hard right now in so many directions. Um. Anyway, we cut to Reaper and his crew pulling up to what is apparently a camp made out of abandoned big construction equipment.
uh-huh.
And I wrote, "Oh, good, skinheads." Um, Reaper pulls up and tells the dude standing outside, "Why don't you invite your friends out?" And they come pouring out of the equipment.
That guy that he talks to is literally wearing like an I Heart Hitler shirt.
Yes. And I have that right here. So it turns out they're not all skinheads because the guys coming out of the equipment have, hair. They're just racists. But Baldy is wearing a I Heart Hitler type shirt on.
Yeah.
Tells them, Reaper tells them he's looking for a fortune, asks if anyone wants to help for a cut. Baldy tells him to fuck off, spits on him, and Reaper shoots his Reaper shoots his balls off.
Mm-hmm.
Tells the rest of the group if they ride with him, they can be rich, or they can die there. And without a fucking second's thought, everybody's riding with Reaper.
Yep.
Looking for some dude named Catfish, and then the whole gang leaves. So then we cut to Wade, who is just out walking in the desert.
Yeah.
Comes across a small campsite. There's some coffee brewing, a little campfire, and then literally this. So, if anyone who's actually like been to the desert, there's like not a lot of places to hide, right? Bush here, cactus there, not a lot. This was pretty fucking barren, and then
A Jedi appears.
right, yeah, like he just like sprung from the earth. Out of nowhere, this gray-haired dude pops up. We learn real quick his name is Rainmaker. Wade asks, "How did you find me?" I mean, he's the one who was walking around and found Rainmaker's campsite. So, anyway, then there is a whole bunch. I summed it all up of pseudo philosophy babble from Rainmaker.
I wrote, they have a talk about spiritual stuff and pollution.
Yes. And there's more. And then we learn Rainmaker is apparently out of work because the sky is different now. It's full of pollution. So I guess he can't make rain anymore.
Nope.
I didn't know that was a full-time reliable job at any point. So Rainmaker is apparently biker Yoda.
I guess, yeah.
And then next thing you know, the two of them are out on the road looking for Reaper. There's another bar. This one is the actual strip club.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a requisite amount of tits, some random shots. Nothing playing into anything of the plot or story. Wade looks like he's never seen a bare tit in his life. This is audio, so it wouldn't have done any good. But I wanted to get a still of him sitting there in the bar because he literally looked like he was afraid. He just was beside himself. Okay. He asks a dancer about Reaper, and so she does this weird thing, and then she whispers in his ear where to look, and it is so not stealthy.
No.
It's so obvious. She could have just shouted it
Yeah.
because he shouted the question, and then she whispers in his ear, and no one's going to think, "Oh, she told on him," right? So, Reaper is now staring at a map stuck to a beam. So it's like some framing or old construction or something.
And it looks like a kindergartner's treasure map.
It really does. They look like something out of Captain Crunch that cut it off the back of the box.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's torn.
and he's not convinced it's a whole map.
Hmm.
And you can look, you can see it's a treasure map. So, then Wade and Rainmaker ride up to the racist camp. They find the baldy, ballless dude. Rainmaker covers him with a Southern flag for comfort, and then does this whole supposed to be like meditative, use the force thing, tells him to breathe, and he's like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Baldy all of a sudden spills the beans on where Reaper was going,
Mm-hmm.
And then he dies. So I kind of feel like at this point he could have tended to his wound earlier.
Possibly.
Because getting your ball shot off, I mean, I don't think any listener does not know what a scrotum is and how easy it would be to stop the bleeding.
Right.
Or a testicle or two to be popped off with a bullet. But life is choices. And he made his. So then we cut to a photo shoot in the rocks. I'm not going to go on about it, but as a photographer, that was abhorrent. There's women in swimsuits, and then two dudes roll up on a bike. Not bikes, a bike.
That's right.
Somebody's riding bitch, which you don't see often in a biker gang.
Not typically.
I guess life is hard being a bike. They can't afford their own bikes. They have to split. Anyway, Wade, I love this whole bit. Wade and Rainmaker are watching from a distance with a looking glass, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny because it was very similar to Road Warrior,
Mm-hmm.
right? When Max is sitting and looking, and then the copter pilot has the big long looking glass. Max takes it, and that's what these two look like. So I think that inspired that scene a little bit. And then Wade says, those people are going to need some help. And I shit you not 3 seconds later, a biker shoots the fucking photographer. I guess Wade was right. Maybe it would have been nice if he
went there,
actually did something.
Help? Yeah, because it takes a while.
A whole lot is going to go on. So the bikers are tormenting the women. It just goes on and on. It's the usual sexist shit. And then Wade and Rainmaker show up. Rainmaker throws what looks like dynamite. And I'm like, this guy is baller.
I know.
I mean, blow up the women just to kill the bikers to make a fucking point.
He throws it right into the middle of everyone. The women, the bikers, Wade, him.
I'll kill us all just to kill you, bitch.
I know.
I mean, you know what?
Wild card.
How can you experience that moment in life and not think God pisses his pants at this guy's presence?
Right.
This is badassery at a high level. So the bikers take off. Turns out the dynamite is actually just a road flare that he made look like dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
Still ballsy.
Awesome.
That is like the best part of the movie.
It is, yeah.
So, and that's what I wrote. Actually, probably the single most brilliant thing to happen in this movie.
I liked it.
So, okay. So the two dudes, they end up riding to where Reaper is. They tell him about Wade, or some big blonde asshole, is how they kind of phrase it. Reaper tells someone to take some men to find Wade and kill him. Fair enough. Wade and Rainmaker are riding through the desert with and I mean riding through the desert, not on a dirt road, not on a trail, right? Just through the fucking desert. And there's old tires everywhere.
Uh-huh.
I've been a lot of places and I haven't run into that. But this is California, to be fair. This is California desert. I haven't tooled around in the deep California desert. I don't know if I want to. So then there's an ambush. One dude has a clear shot at Wade with a shotgun at 15 feet or less and misses. The gun battle ends up being just as impressive as the martial arts.
I think I wanna put a point of argument here
Sure.
about this gunfight.
Okay.
There is something charming about when gunfight scenes are like used to be. Basically, just cause as much chaos as you can. It doesn't need to be easy to follow.
One could say,
Mm-hmm.
the writers were Star Wars fans.
Sure.
And these, because a lot, and I love Star Wars, big heart for that. However, I will say, anytime there's a shootout with the stormtroopers, it's just a willy-nilly fuck for all.
That's true.
And that's kind of what this was. Those poor bastards couldn't hit shit. They couldn't hit the Death Star, right?
Yeah.
And it's funny. I saw a lot of memes on what happens when a stormtrooper gets LASIK. It just wipes out the rebellion. Anyway, so Wade makes the guy tell him where Reaper is, learns he's south of the border, to which Wade asks, "You mean Mexico?" Jesus Christ. Let's talk about this for just one quick second. To be fair, there's a lot of borders and there's a lot of south. Now, south of the border, the guy could have meant south of the Canadian border, meaning he's just right fucking here. Right? Because we are south of the Canadian border.
I suppose.
We are south of the California, or they would be south of the California-Oregon border.
Right.
Which, if he said that again, would mean he's right fucking here. So south of the border is universally known across this country as going into Mexico.
Okay.
But Wade, I don't think, even though he's a cop, I don't think he did well in elementary school.
Yeah, I don't think Wade is the brightest crayon in the box.
So anyway, the dude also tells Wade that Reaper has 100 men.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Wade lets the guy go. The guy mouths off, and then Wade blows him up.
I know.
He sticks a puck in his pocket.
Uh-huh.
And kablam. And then tells Rainmaker they're going north because he was told Reaper is south.
Right.
Sound move, actually.
Yeah.
The whole scene doesn't give the justice and credit to that bit of logic. But anyway. Back to Reaper. A bike is pulling a man and a woman behind it. It's Catfish and some woman. We learn real quick her name is Skin.
She's Blondie from the beginning of the movie.
I mean, yeah. Apparently, she took some money from Reaper in the past. I still, they didn't give us any indication how fucking long it's been. Right? So, Reaper goes through Catfish's stuff angrily. And then we cut to him whipping Catfish. Catfish is tied up and he's whipping him. Tells Catfish he was some dude's cellmate, killed him, and knew about Catfish meeting this guy for something. It was so descriptive. And this is a lot of whipping.
It is a
lot of whipping. And then Skin, she's, I'll give you the map if you stop. So she gives Reaper the map. And then we get to see the whip wounds are very much less than convincing. Really looks like someone just put red something on their fingers, just ran it down his back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not real good. Not real good there. They look more like lipstick lines that are melting in the sun.
Yeah.
So they all end up leaving, and they tie Skin up, hanging by her hands, leave her behind. And then it's night, and we're with Raid and Waynemaker.
Did you say Wayne Maker?
I said Raid and Waynemaker. Yeah. because I was trying to inject some fun. I had to have something to do.
Yeah.
Uh, and then there's some more Yoda talk.
Yeah.
A lot of it. Oh man. Uh, I don't even know if it's really talk. It's just like random sentences being exchanged between them, and Rainmaker just kind of, which he sort of does. He just fucking tangents immediately off the conversation.
Yeah.
And starts getting into some pseudo psychological babble bullshit. And then we're back to Reaper and gang, and I'm looking at this, and I'm because it takes a little bit for the shot to soak in. And I'm like, is he sleeping, sitting up on his fucking bike? Is it just sitting there? That's a long shot.
Yeah.
But apparently, no. He's just trancing. Then he concentrates hard on the map. And it looks pretty simple, actually. There's like 5 markings on it.
Right.
And then we cut to some dude who looks like an archaeologist wandering around by himself. And then, nailed it. Because he talks to himself to let us know who he is. And then we get back to Reaper. He tells Catfish to ride with him for a share, or he'll let them both go. Catfish signs up. So Skin was apparently left behind as bait. Wade and Rainmaker. There's this whole thing where Rainmaker is trying to tell him not to go after Reaper. Let it go. Blah, 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 blah. It's dangerous. And this whole thing was set up just so Wade can reply in that same monotone, I'm so tired of being here energy. So is crossing the street.
That's right.
I feel like they did, to this point, this whole film was just a setup for what they thought was the Holy Grail line. That was it.
So Reaper and his group are definitely not 100 dudes. We're like 5. And they're out looking for this cave. And then the archaeologist guy and his group hear them coming. Meanwhile, Wade is scaling an old bridge randomly. That's never been seen anywhere in the film.
No.
And he finds Skin, who recognizes him. And then Wade takes like a grazed shot to his head. Because the bikers are there. Because she was bait.
Yeah.
So they make him run behind their bikes on a rope. They taunt him with canteens. It's like every action drama trope was included in this. And then they drag him on the ground behind him, and Rainmaker stops and gets Skin, who has heard of Rainmaker.
Yes. Apparently he's famous.
Yeah.
In the biker world.
Yeah. And then she tells him what's going on. Wade, meanwhile, has tied the bikes to a rock with his rope that he was being pulled on.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah. And then Rainmaker shows up. He gets the gun that Wayne got from the bikers.
The Q guy gave him a gun.
That's right.
That when the safety's off, it shoots. When the safety's on, it shoots backwards.
I did mention that gun. But so one of the bikers gets the gun that Wade has.
Yeah.
Aims it at them, and then it backfires on the guy. I thought, what a horrifically dangerous gun to have.
It is really a stupid thing.
Like, you have to fire it with the safety on to fire at other people.
What's the point in the safety? I mean, what if it goes off?
Right? So Reaper gets to the archaeologist guy and asks him about a cave. And the archaeologist takes the map and matches it to the rock drawings he's been looking at, which he seems excited about, but probably means those shapes haven't actually been there on those rocks very long, have they?
Yeah.
So the archaeologist talks him through the absolute nonsense that is his interpretation of the map.
Yes.
They have no fucking clue where to go, but they head out anyway. At no point in that discussion was any direction given. And then somehow a bunch of bikers have the archaeologist girls.
Yeah.
And they make the girls strip and wash the bikes with their clothes. Wade is watching this, but Reaper's going on ahead.
Yeah. I wanted to make a point of this.
Mhm.
So Reaper, when he takes off, tells one of the dudes, watch the women, but don't do anything to them, and then follow. Although that was pretty clear. So the dude asks right after that, what do they do about the women? And Reaper's reply is, whatever you want. Now, I can see why people would be frustrated following this guy,
I
because
know.
I'm a fairly intelligent, educated individual, and I'm having a hard time figuring out his directions.
Yeah.
Like, if I were that guy, I'd be like, okay, I understand. I don't know what my job is. You have not made clear to me what you're expecting of me in this situation. In fact, you've given me completely diametrically opposed. But I guess Reaper's just like that. He just goes with the wind.
Yeah. Oh man. So Wade is watching this whole situation, and I'm like, how far is he going to let it go this time? Because last time a photographer got killed.
I know. They're going to need some help. Sure are, Wade.
Thanks, buddy. He's the worst cop ever. So he goes into one of the archaeology tents, and then suddenly he's nowhere near any of the tents, and he's shooting at the bikers.
He cuts his way into the back of the tent,
Uh-huh.
goes to the door of the tent, looks out, and then goes to the side, cuts a hole, and sticks his hand through it with his gun.
Okay.
Right next to. I am still not clear why.
But when it shows him shooting, he's nowhere near any tents at all, anywhere.
No.
Which is amazing. One of the bikers sneaks up on Wade, and Rainmaker just busts out a sniper rifle from nowhere to save him. Back to Reaper, who sees some desert sculptures that have we get this stock meaningful music queued up on them.
Mm-hmm.
And they somehow have. Wade and Rainmaker leave Skin behind with some people.
Yeah.
Sure.
Why not?
And then Reaper has his boys digging near the sculptures, which seems like a real dumb place to hide a treasure in a desert.
Yeah.
I don't think you needed a map for that. I think you could have just been like, go to these sculptures.
The sculptures at the end of the road in the place with the big, restroom kind of area thing.
That's
Whatever.
it. Well, and then Wade and Rainmaker show up, and Rainmaker sends Wade ahead to get Reaper, despite all his talk about Wade's unhealthy obsession with revenge. But revenge for what?
Because he's a bad dude.
But they act like Reaper did something personal to Wade, and he didn't, though. He
No.
caught Wade out as an undercover cop. Anyway, that next biker guard sees Wade coming in, and then Wade blows his ass to hell with another watch bomb.
Yep. Urinal pucks. Who'd have known?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Rainmaker has a literal draw with a biker and just smokes his ass.
Yeah.
Reaper and the gang, they have these bags of gold that were buried. And then Reaper immediately shoots Catfish just to get rid of him.
Yep.
And I think they call him Reaper because he literally just kills everyone around him.
I mean, that would work.
There's no incentive to follow this guy at all.
No.
Seriously, he straight up murders his own dudes to keep the gold to himself. And then Wade gets to another one of the guards. And I'm like, nobody heard any of those shots that happened. It's the desert. It's going to carry. This biker that Wade is up to, who I'm going to refer to as Hare, has this wrestling punching match with Wade.
Yeah.
And Wade has to bust out his final James Bond trick, and arguably the most forgettable.
Yeah.
Knife boot.
Yep.
Again, in the nuts. Wade kind of has a thing, huh? So Wade finally gets to Reaper, who immediately offers to split the gold 50-50. Wade declines and kicks Reaper up onto this boarded up well.
Yeah.
Despite it actually looking fairly solid, the wood starts creaking and breaking like it's made out of paper.
Yeah.
And Reaper falls in.
Now, it takes a full 30 seconds on screen for him to fall in.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm thinking, roll to the left.
I know.
Just roll to the left, dude.
Just roll off the well.
And and then you're okay.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
No. And then Wade stares in. Goal achieved. Wade and Rainmaker then are together, catching up, saying where they're going.
Wade's going to Mexico.
Yeah.
I think he figured out south of the border.
That's right. And Rainmaker is going to visit a Rainmaker kahuna in Hawaii.
Yes.
And he invites Wade along. And I guess revenge isn't all that bad for the soul, despite their many conversations about it.
Right.
They both ride off separately. The end.
Yep. I want to jump back a little bit.
Okay.
We're talking about Rainmaker. Or you're talking about Wade. Like, what was the deal? We did find out when Rainmaker was talking to Skin that he rode with Reaper a long time ago.
Oh.
Which didn't make sense because Rainmaker's like 107.
Right.
Right. And even all grayed up, Reaper, I'm thinking what, late 30s, just a rough looking late 30s. Dude didn't look like he was
maybe 40 something. Right.
Even still, Rainmaker's like fucking 60s,
Oh, at least.
I mean, yeah, it's wild. But if anyone would have had a grudge, it would have been him. So that's the movie. Want to talk about this bad boy?
I really do. Yeah.
So I want to preface this following conversation with, I really enjoyed watching this movie.
Yes.
I'm going to be honest. There's not a lot of aspirational technical lessons to be had. But there's some things I want to talk about. But I want to say, yes, we ripped on this, but that is the fun sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'll watch this again.
No, probably not.
But I wasn't sorry that we watched it, twice.
No.
For the show. And it hits that category of, like I said, I really enjoyed it.
It was fun to watch and riff.
Yes.
It was.
So, do you have anything to point out?
Okay, so first the good.
Yes.
They made a movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's where I was going to begin.
Yep.
Well, I mean, that's, how many people out there want to write a script and never do it?
Well, and they made a movie that was watchable.
Yeah.
Right?
It's hard to follow sometimes, and a little painful dialogue, but they did it.
They did.
And I'm not sure which of these two things it is. We kind of talked about it. The writers are they like, were they bikers, or
did they hate bikers?
Well, no. Or are they just fascinated by the biker culture?
Right.
Right. Now,
because that was, I think, the purpose of this movie was to make a biker movie.
Right. That was the purpose.
Yeah. That was it.
And they did.
Yep.
It I'm sorry. It falls to the core of what we always talk about. Make it.
Yeah, just make it.
Make it. And they did. Now, this was not a $1,000 budget film.
No, they had a little bit of money.
A little bit of money, not a lot. The sound is awful.
It's terrible.
So that's not where the money went. There's a lot of bikes in this movie.
There are a lot of bikes and there are a lot of people as well.
Yes. Like, we have seen instances where they'll go into a bar, right? Strip
Mm-hmm.
club or not. And there's like four people,
Yeah.
you know, uh, uh, two of which are the stars, and the other two are supposed to be like background thing or someone they interact with because, you just don't have money to pay people. And sometimes it's difficult to get people to show up just to be there,
Yeah.
right? There was a lot of people
There were.
and a lot of desert shooting.
Yeah.
I mean, almost exclusively.
Yeah. And that's a really harsh shooting environment.
It is, just from a photography standpoint, because I used to spend like a week, sometimes two, out there wandering around. It's hard
Yeah.
on the equipment. The heat, you think you're careful, but not only is there sand, our deserts have dust. And that shit is everywhere.
Right.
I mean, if I'm out there for a week, every fucking night. Clean, 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 clean. You have to, you know. Um, yeah, they made the movie.
They did.
They did whatever they had to do to get it done.
And it's fun. It's enjoyable to watch.
Yes. Yeah. I would recommend it as you just aren't in the mood to piece anything together. Try to follow a thread, thrillers, mysteries, suspense, even horror, right?
Yeah.
You want to find out what's going on. This is the movie for you, for that moment. Just fire it up and be like, I'm just going to be.
Yeah.
And let this movie happen to me.
Right. So, my first point of contention,
Sure.
the acting
Yeah,
is horrible.
it is.
However, I want to add a caveat about the acting, which is I don't think the writing helped the acting along at all
No.
because the dialogue was so wooden and so contrived and so weird.
I think it's like you said, they had like a sound cloud or a word cloud
Yeah.
going on, and just of phrases, and it's like we got to pluck this in here, we're going to pluck this in here, and it's like everything up to that moment was just fill
Mm-hmm.
till they could put that line in,
Yes.
because it didn't, like, Wade. So from a character analysis, here's where Reaper falls short.
Okay.
Okay, Reaper's supposed to be a biker gang leader.
Yes.
That is no small task, right?
Well.
Now, I've had the privilege of growing up in Madison, where the CC Riders were an institution like my whole life, right?
Yeah.
Now, these are guys who aren't they're they're not going on joy rides and doing charity work and stuff. I mean, this is a legitimate full on biker gang. However, you could coexist with them in McDonald's or just wherever you go,
Sure.
right? And as I got older and we, friends and I, we'd go out to bars, run into a couple here and there. They weren't like what was happening in this movie was the stereotypical behavior of bikers, where they walk in,
Right.
they start breaking shit, taunting the women, blah, 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 with doing crude shit. Some do, right? But
Sure.
that's not the whole thing. That's not their whole existence,
Right.
right? But in talking to these guys and just growing up and being culturally aware of this culture, the counterculture of bikers, if you want to lead, you gotta you gotta have it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reaper did not have it together.
He had nothing.
No, he just kept killing people.
He was just an asshole.
And that is not how you lead. I guarantee you, if there were a biker group leader who mowed his people down,
Mhm.
I promise you, nobody else would be showing up at his doorstep.
Nope.
Be like, hey, I want to be part of your new group. Fuck that guy. Right? Because that's the one thing you don't do. You never do. You don't fuck over your own, no matter where you are in the ranks. Right? Whether you just came in or you're the guy at the top.
Well, yeah.
Because the whole reason you guys are together are to be the family,
Sure.
right? Outside of all the conventions that you're abandoning. He didn't,
It's a tribe.
yeah. Well, he didn't give that whole
He
thing.
did not.
And also, bikers generally aren't that bone stupid
No.
like his followers were.
No. Although Munch has a special place in my heart.
I mean, that's fair. There's always a favorite, you
Yeah.
know.
I also liked Crazy Eyes.
Yeah, he didn't have like a whole lot going on, but he worked that crazy, I think.
Yeah.
And I especially appreciated it because um that was the thing with Lily for a long, long, long time.
Crazy
Crazy
Eyes.
eyes.
Yeah.
And she was good at it.
She was good
It's
at it.
fucking hilarious. Um I my points of contention are the technical bits.
It's amateurishly directed.
Yes. I would even go so far as to say it wasn't really directed. I kind of feel
So
like
much as they had a camera.
well, like he showed up to make sure everybody showed up because
Right.
there's just I don't know. Um, so the dialogue, choice bits that they threw in with a lot of babble in between.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, wooden dialogue will lead to wooden performances, but I also will say that none of these people have a long resume,
No.
you know, um, which is fine because we have seen some great movies where they're amateurs. You got to start somewhere,
Well, yeah.
right? Um, this this the script and direction did them no favors, you
It did not.
know. Like Skin actually had like a range.
She kind of did, but when she came back, she was almost unrecognizable.
Yeah, you know, maybe it was someone else.
It could have been. She could have been recast. She had different hair, different color hair. Her face looked different.
Mm-hmm. Even with bad writing, bad acting, bad directing, um, you could still try to achieve continuity and what I like to call spatial recognition in the script,
Right.
meaning how long in between, what kind of space between this thing and that thing has there been?
Right.
Because I don't know. And here's the thing: has Wade been just like sitting in the fucking desert for years, waiting for this bitch to escape?
Right.
I mean, what was his end game? You know,
No idea.
no idea. And here's another thing: uh, he killed his cellmate. We learned this when he's in the cop car. He killed his cellmate before his 4 days before his cellmate had parole
Right.
because he found this information about the treasure in the map and blah 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 blah. See, don't even need to mention it because it doesn't fucking make any difference. It doesn't make this better.
No.
Um, I just lost my train of thought. There's so much going on. So, how long was he in jail?
Well, that's
No,
part of the problem. Is the storyline for this film was so convoluted
yeah,
that they felt like they had to over-explain it, and they just did it poorly.
it's like they were explaining something else, forgetting what they were trying to explain, which made me remember what I just wanted to say.
Okay.
So if somebody in prison kills their cellmate, they don't just like book them off to another prison, and
No.
they certainly don't put them in the back of the fucking cop car with Gomer Pyle and Barney Fife driving along.
One of whom is in the back with him.
One of whom is in the back with him, um, and he's not secured.
No.
What do you expect to happen? You know. Anyway, um, I like I said, I asked earlier. So are these guys fans or were they part of some sort of biker culture? And by that, there's like Hell's Angels, which are like they're the pillar of recognition.
Right.
So we base everything on. And then you go down the locals and stuff and CC Riders and other things. Um, what you what what you also have are the folks who go on the big bike rides.
Oh, the long treks.
Yeah. And they call themselves bikers because they took a week off of vacation, but then they come back and they go back to their job as a lawyer, a doctor, a dentist, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, those are biker groups. And that's a fair assessment. I wouldn't call them a gang.
No.
No. Um, you know, I I just don't know where this all came from. I don't know at what level the knowledge was at. And I did have the thought, did they know a lot and they're just so bad at writing that they couldn't get any of it on the page? I don't know. But
I think they know a lot of tropes, is what they know.
well, that's what it kind of seemed like. And also, but I did see like I said, the whole thing with the Mad Max and Max and the copter pilot with the looking glass and binoculars. And there's Rainmaker and Wade. Now, I don't know where they got they're gonna need some help. And then decided to just I mean, Wade was not the hero in this movie.
He was not.
He sucks as a hero.
Yeah.
He's like a day late and a dollar short for everything.
Everything.
He's fucking playing catch up and grab ass with Rainmaker the whole time. And Rainmaker's, I think, probably the most solid character because he gives such a, I really just kind of exist. I don't give a fuck. You going to go chase this guy? Fucking, I'll go with you. You know why? Because I lost my job making rain. And I've been hanging out here in the fucking desert for who knows how long.
That's why it's a desert.
Yeah. Clearly he's not good at it.
That's right.
Oh, man. Okay. So.
The music.
Jesus Christ.
Horrific.
Yeah. So we can't afford to pay someone to make music.
Right.
For this project, that project. So we would rely on stuff that's out there. Free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or like dollar bin licensing.
Yeah.
Right? Perpetual licensing. That's fine. Now, there's all manner of music out there, and there has been for a long time. Studios used to hire like all kinds of people, rock bands, big band, all this shit, just to record music that they could maybe use down the road somewhere.
Right.
Right. And
like stock music.
Yeah. Their own library. And that's fine. That's like Kyle Hester had a whole thing on his YouTube channel about anytime you go to a hotel, take your fucking camera, even if it's your phone, and do hallway shots. Walk down the hallway. Right. Get the doors, get the B-roll stuff.
Yeah.
Just, you're there, take it, because you know what? That saves you trying to find a fucking hotel to take those shots in when you're trying to do pre-production.
Right.
You've already got a bank of stuff. Brilliant thing to do. However, in all those cases, pick something that fits the film.
Well, yeah.
That's where this missed the mark. This music, what would you describe it as?
So, okay. Here's what you do. You go online and you just search mysterious sound effect music. And the first thing that pops up is you don't even listen to it. You just put it in your film. That's what they did for this. It was 94. So they probably had access to a library of stock music. And they just went, well, we need action music.
Well, let's see. 94, they wouldn't have the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But I guarantee you there was a computer wherever the music was being kept,
right,
that kept an index.
Yes.
Right? I mean, data, this shit's been going on forever. That's probably what they did.
Yeah.
What do you want? Mysterious. Boom. First thing that popped up. Sure. I don't know that it was so mysterious as just annoying.
Right.
So the music and the sound were two big hits. The music, because it didn't fit. It was funny.
Yeah.
It didn't fit. And the sound was terrible except for the fucking motorcycles. So I actually wrote in my notes, that's when, the part you were covering, one of the parts you were covering, that there is no shortage of loud motherfucking motorcycle sounds in this movie. I mean, and it's jarring because it's one of those where, I'll get back here a little bit, This is the level of the volume. And then that fucking motorcycle comes on screen. Yeah, like 500 decibels louder.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It is. Yeah, there were definitely some volume issues.
And not everyone's going to pick this out, but if you're going to have motorcycle sounds, don't use them unless they match what's going on, because these weren't the actual bikes
No.
in most instances. And you could just tell, like when a motorcycle's slowing down, it doesn't go. It actually,
Right.
Anyway, it's one of those things that makes you smile while you're watching it.
Yes.
Um, special effects, not a lot to speak of.
No.
Practical, nothing. Yeah, no computer generated shit here.
Even the gunfights were like little muzzle flashes. I mean, it wasn't a big deal.
No. The scenarios, like the women trapped in this building. And
Trapped, were they?
This old fart coming and going.
I know.
Because like at some point when the camera wasn't on that scene, the way the story's flowing, at some point he's like, wait a minute, I'm going to go get some guns, and runs off, and they just sat there.
Yeah.
And then he came back. And he didn't even think, why don't you just come with me?
Nope.
You're going to need this. The the biggest continuity problem here is the dead woman.
Yeah.
She's dead. We just kill the rest of them and bury them all. And then she comes out running in her underwear with a fucking gun. And she actually took down a couple and gave Reaper a hard time.
Yeah. She took down Munch, who then later appeared in the film perfectly alive.
The resurrection aspect, I think, clearly unintentional, but at some point I think a good director would have caught on, we could do something with this, since they had the whole Messiah thing with Reaper.
They did, yeah.
Right?
Except maybe it should have been Munch.
It should have been.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because he's the one who came back.
That's true.
Reaper was just wandering around. He didn't even speak parables. He just like threw words out.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
The way he talked reminded me of Ian on Mythic Quest. I don't do calendars.
Right. But at least his it was, I mean, you followed it.
Oh yeah.
This was just, okay, say something, John. Blah, 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 blah. Say something, Pete. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Reaper, say your line. Yeah, I feel like that was the direction.
Yeah.
Like there's really no script. Yeah. I don't want to mercilessly bash this thing. I will say it's better than Troll 2.
Yeah.
Troll 2 was way more painful to watch. This was just a very low level. That's what I was looking for. Low level, very amateur film.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad that I saw it. I'm not going to rub it out of my mind. I think there's a lot to it that just speaks to the core of everything. Just make your film. You know what? And it may not be great. That's the way it is. We have started how many scripts? And 40, 50 pages in, fuck this. It died on the vine.
Yeah.
Yeah, the execution is just, this isn't, no. So you know what you do? You put it away and you go into something else.
Yeah.
Right? And then you rewrite a script. You can't remake a movie. Well, I mean, they're doing remakes, but once you shoot your film, you can't do the whole thing over again.
Well, especially if you don't have any money.
Well, and that's sort of the big thing. You get what you get.
Yeah. I do. Do you have any other things about the film you'd like to discuss?
I don't know.
I have.
You go.
I have. Okay. Major beef.
Uh-oh.
Huge beef. The trailer for this film
Oh yes, the trailer. Almost forgot about that.
Was chock full of titties. Just like all day, all night, a whole movie.
For a TV 14, nothing but tits.
Just nothing but titties. The movie itself had 3 scenes with titties in them.
And very meager
Very,
at that.
very meager titty scenes.
So my assessment of that was, and I told you, I think the trailer was made of all the shit they cut out of the film
Yeah.
because none of that was in it.
I feel like I got bamboozled.
It's kind of one of the reasons we chose it.
It is. That was a major reason.
I mean,
So I was like, look at all those titties.
It's it spoke to a type of film
Yes.
that we were looking for, and I still got the film I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
There's no mistake about that. But yeah, it was disappointing.
It was.
It was disappointing.
Yeah.
It's like it got spell checked.
It was like that time I tried to watch Raptor Planet and I couldn't watch the whole thing because there weren't enough dinosaurs.
That was so funny. How was that movie? I stopped watching it. Why? Not enough dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's a legit reason.
You were so dejected.
I was upset.
Oh. So, I don't know. Is there anything else?
Just make sure your trailer, accurately represents what is going on in your film.
Which is not to say, because we've discussed trailers
Mm-hmm.
where sometimes scenes in the trailer that's not in the movie, because the trailer is made before everything's done.
Right.
They're grabbing bits and pieces, right, that are finished.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to have that shit ready to go and rock and roll long before the final cut is done. Because you got to market.
Correct.
You got to market the thing. That's fine. I can accept that. The Devil's Own. That's my biggest bitch. One of the greatest fucking monologues by Harrison Ford. Right? They cut it from the fucking film, but it was in the trailer. I'm like, what? That's what got me into the theater. Yes, it's Harrison Ford. Yes, it's Brad Pitt. And yes, I can't remember her name ever. Moving on. But and then it's just like denied.
Yeah.
But it happens. But not one of those goddamn things was in the movie.
I know.
Right? Because we watched the trailer and like, what's it about? Well, it's a biker movie. I don't know. And there's lots of boobs. Apparently, it's about boobs.
Yeah.
So that was 80% of the trailer.
Yeah.
And it wasn't in the film.
So we were like, let's go.
And funnily enough, the stuff that wasn't boobs, if it had been in the film, I would have done nothing.
It's true.
But, so yeah, craft your trailers. If you cut a scene and it's in the trailer, don't sweat it. If your trailer is composed solely of stuff that got cut from the film, don't.
Well, I think if your trailer is almost, we'll say 80% bouncing boobies, your movie should be at least 35% bouncing boobies.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Well, and it goes back to the 80s. So many movies in the 80s, the only thing for a young man that qualifies that movie as watchable is the sheer amount of bare breasts.
That's true.
And that's just a fact. And like I said before, anyone who says differently is just lying to you. So the lessons, do your thing. This is a good example of, this is what you can expect. If you've got no money and you can't rig sound and do all that stuff, this is, kind of how it's going to come out. That's fine, because we had some shit sound films that were fantastic on this show. Just go back to the lists, folks.
Yeah.
Go back to the lists. We've had Midland stuff, and then of course the high-end stuff, right? But do it, shoot it. Just really work that script. And as a director, encourage your writers, find the story, because I feel like he didn't find it. I don't know what he
don't
had.
overcomplicate your story.
Right.
You don't need to do that. Write your script.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you can, and this is something I don't think they did, go back and edit it a few times.
Well,
until you feel like you have something ready
they did edit
to
it
film.
enough to cut out enough stuff to make the trailer.
Well, that's the script, not the film.
Oh,
I'm talking about the script.
Yes, edit. Oh shit, yeah. I'm right over here to my right, your left.
Mm-hmm.
We have a bookshelf. The whole top row is drafts of scripts, and not a one of them. I mean, we don't do like 2 drafts or 3. There's 4 or 5.
I mean, do 20 drafts if that's what you need to do.
Yeah, you just keep pounding it, because here's the thing: you're doing it. You're not getting paid, right? You're not on a timeline. You don't have someone harping on you to get it done. Get it done. Get it done the way you want. And we've warned before: don't be perfectionist.
Mm-hmm.
No script is perfect. Not a single one has ever been. But make sure, and I'll go back to my old argument, make sure you have the fucking tenets of storytelling in place, right? Make sure you've got your 3 acts. Make sure you have, everything that's happening is moving it forward. That's like the one solid golden rule. If you follow that, your shit's going to come out good.
Yeah.
Right? Acting, amateur actors, everybody starts somewhere and some go nowhere. I don't think any of these people like fully pursued.
I mean, that's the whole, this whole movie, everything in it reeks of amateurism, but that doesn't mean that it's bad.
No.
It is bad, but not because they're amateurish. It's bad for other reasons.
Right.
That we've talked about extensively, but that doesn't mean it's not fun to watch. So, I mean, even if you think your movie's shit, even if you think your script is dumb, even if you think the acting isn't working, you just go through and finish it because
you've made a movie at the end of it.
Yeah.
Which is more than most people do who talk about making movies. It's a small percentage who do it. Do it, and then you're in that upper echelon of individuals who are like, I made a fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it bombed. But here's the thing. I bet this thing could get a cult following. It might. I don't know. I didn't see it. I can't find anything about it.
I know.
This could be a cult classic. This could get a following. This could be like Troll 2. This could have showings. And people
quoting this movie.
Just like you, straight to hell.
Yeah.
Anyway. So.
With that.
Death Riders. Also, they find it as The Bandits.
Oh, sure.
I didn't find anything anywhere listing that, but they said it's an alt title. So with that,
check out our website,
lordsofmissworldproductions.com.
Everything's on there. Links, email addresses, episodes, Patreon, socials.
Stuff.
Good stuff.
Check out our different things. People who follow us, people we're following on Instagram, YouTube, so on. A lot of people involved in this whole filmmaking thing, and you should check them out. I'm not going to go through the rambling list of names, but they're there. Check out their stuff because, that's what it's about. They got good stuff.
There is going to be, in extra bonus super special news, a Redwood Massacre 3.
Yes!
Is in the works.
Yeah, we got to get a hold of David. We got to get him on.
Mm-hmm.
I got to get this technical shit sorted. We got to get him on. Talk about that.
And on that exciting note.
I just want to say, David, if you're listening, yes, we would love to see the first draft. Yeah. On that note.
This is Danny.
And this is Jim.
We'll catch you next time.
Bye, B-Siders.